Not popping up on the screen there, Tony.
Buff it up.
Tony didn't pop up on the screen saying we're live.
Oh, well, it's live.
Okay, we're good.
I think it's. I see live.
We're live. We're live.
Live.
Good morning, folks, and welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition, the live edition. And it's a nice October 18th. Did I say the October 18th? Yes, the month is going by. And, there's some things that are becoming by. But before then, you should actually go check out Sam for your tire changes. And that's the end of the infomercial piece for me. And I'm going to swing over to Mike to talk about the educational minute.
Great. Thank you, Bernie. Morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm glad you did the infomercial for Sam so he doesn't have to do his. Hope everybody is having a great day. What a beautiful day today. Going to show you a little quick video and it'll help serve your well-being. And so let's take a look, see if I can share a screen. Already, here we go.
Hello there, traveler. Riddle me this. I am desired by kings and peasants alike, but used so carelessly by all. I am measured, managed, wasted, always moving, never stalled. I grow forests, tear down mountains, I move stars across the sky. I exist throughout all the vast of space. I am present, I can fly. I care not for your status, your achievements, or your dreams. I am finite to all living things, but forever includes me. Where I'm going is tomorrow, where I've been is history. I'm a concept grasped by simple minds, but to science a mystery. I am measured by the moments, I am counted by bits of falling sand. I promise to never promise more than what is presently in your hands. I am time, the riddle solves itself. I'm impartial, I'm unfair. I am divvied out in unknown lots to each person's total share. Now the true riddle, my dear traveler, isn't how to cheat more time, but on how to use your precious lot of moments to its prime. For those who only chase tomorrow will find it cold and grey, but those who make the present count live lifetimes every day. So not exactly a riddle, more of a reflective thought I'd share. I hope you find it interesting. And as always, be safe out there.
Well, thank you for watching that. And yeah, time is our only unrenewable resource that we have. There's only so much of this commodity that we have. So when you're traveling through your day today and all of a sudden a little bit of a curveball comes to you, just, stop and reflect on the individual who you are. You are truly, truly a miracle, and enjoy your day. And if you want to do things in your life and you want to accomplish things in your life, well, then rise to do the difficult. Back to you, Bernie.
Hi, thank you so much. And I'm just going to push into our chat the LinkedIn live post link. So please put your contact details and other salient information in that space. And now we're going to do some intros. Sam, you're up.
Okay, I get the button to work. Thank you very much, Bernie. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Contact information, there it is in the chat. Well, I do dash cameras, as you all know, and minor repairs on vehicles, oil changes and brake jobs, things like that. Actually, I did wheel bearings last week on a vehicle, a Yaris, something like Tony's wife's car. Anyway, they were very noisy. In fact, the wheel was moving, the rear wheel was moving about 2 inches. It was a very dangerous situation, but thank goodness the wheel didn't fall off before I got to it. But what I want to talk about is actually what Bernie mentioned there. It's that time of year to book your tire change. It's going to be getting cool there if you haven't noticed already. And you don't want to be caught in this first snowstorms without your snow tires on. So I'm not saying to get your tires changed right now, but I'm saying to get your tire booking in so you don't get left behind and they're sitting in line in the little lube shops for hours and hours to get your tires changed. Get an appointment with me or something like that. That's what I'm referring, or I'm looking for referrals for a tire change appointment. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Dan, thank you so much. Q, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bernie. Hello, everyone. My name is Q, and I'm the insurance lady of the group. And being a broker who has access to many different products, I am able to help insure the uninsurable. So please, if you know anyone who has some kind of health issue, such as cancer, diabetics, heart issue, lifestyle issues, feel free to send them my way so that I can help them get the insurance protection they need and give their family peace of mind. Q from World Finance Group, providing you with financial peace of mind when you need it most. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Matthew, over to you, sir.
Morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard from Arizona HVAC Services here. As you most know, we are a full service HVAC company. We are able to service and provide you with new equipment for any of your heating and cooling needs. We take care of anything to do with gas, so hot water heaters, fireplaces, barbecue lines, things like that. If you know anybody that is in the market for something new to keep them warm and toasty over this winter, have them reach out to me. Post my information in the chat bubble here. I'd love to hear back from everybody. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services, quality you can trust, guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Penny Lee, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Penny Lee Treble, the Dancing Motivator and co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated. Today, what I would like to remind people of is that it's really important to take time out to reflect on what you want and where you want to go in your life and in your business. And I actually have a collaboration happening with Mike's sister-in-law, Tanya, at her homestead in Kempville this Sunday, October 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're doing a mini retreat. I will be dancing there, of course. So she's offering yoga, a lunch, and some mindful meditation, doodling, and we would love to have you join us. It's a great opportunity to recharge your battery and get ready for the rest of the year. So if you know anybody who loves to have great success and doesn't necessarily take time out to take care of themselves, this is the opportunity to do that. Movement is medicine with Penny Lee.
Thank you, Penny Lee. Eric, over to you, sir.
Good morning, Eric Sonego. I'm a member of this group, but I haven't been here in a while. Of Eric Sonego Professional Group. We're accountants and management consulting. We specialize in small to medium-sized companies. Typical client for me is someone who has trouble doing their income tax because it's getting too complicated. Or, what I do most of the time, which is financial statements, corporate taxes, and that kind of stuff for people who are in business and have to report to the government. I'm in the middle of an in-depth tax course right now, and one of the things that I feared has happened. We have a problem with housing and foreigners buying our housing. Remember that we put pressure on the government to change the laws? Well, the laws were changed, but it's affecting much more than foreigners, because now if you inherit, if you're a trustee if you're a trustee of an estate, let's say your parents, and they left a house or a rental property, now you have to also be part of that underused housing tax thing, and now you have to be part of that regimen that has to pay 1% tax on the value of that thing of the building, even though you are not a foreigner, even though you are not speculating on land, even though you're not doing anything. So the moral of the story is, beware when you ask government to solve problems sometimes, because the baseball bat can hit a lot more than just the person in front of you. Mm-hmm. For that and other motivating things, 613-254-7310.
Eric? I love the charm, but it's always awesome. Appreciate it. Tanya, over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Hewitt from Beyond Safety Compliance. A lot of people in the workplace are doing tasks that they find really frustrating because it might not be part of their natural makeup. A lot of places, when they assign jobs, are just looking at what did you train to do. Training often falls into something that is called your working competency, but your working genius is actually something that you have naturally innate within you. I can help companies realize who fits in what task, and then they can start to really excel in what they'd like to get accomplished. I have an integrity course coming up. I'll put the details in the chat. I would really encourage all of you to share the link within your networks. The early bird expires this Friday, and I'd really like to help so many people with this really important concept. Thanks, everyone. Beyond Safety Compliance, how does your work look?
Tanya, thank you so much. Mike, over to you, sir.
Great, thank you, Bernie. Morning, everybody. It's Mike Velosky here with We Care Focus. We Care Focus is a 60-minute online distracted and defensive driving, and it's geared for newer drivers and about to be new drivers. As a subject matter expert with over 30 years plus in the collision industry and 11 years on the Eastern Ontario Sounding Board, I've seen a lot. Every fall, I take this program and I relaunch it again to help individuals, new drivers, mitigate the chance of them causing an at-fault accident. An at-fault accident is an accident that you have caused. I also teach them on the financial ramifications if they don't focus at the task at hand. For instance, like how that affects, how a small collision can affect their personal finances, their insurance premiums, and so on. And I also teach them on the emotional consequences if they don't focus at the task at hand, and how if they create an accident, how that can play havoc with their well-being and their mental health. Distracted driving, along with mental health, is the #1 societal concern that we have in our communities these days. So my target audience are parents of new drivers. Let them know that the 60-minute online session exists. I pretty well can guarantee you that they'll get some great insights that they'll apply to their driving habits, which will mitigate the chances of them causing that at-fault accident. It is truly, for a moderate fee, it's truly the best investment a parent can make in their driver's safety. Steering you straight.
Mike, thank you so much. Deirdre, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Deirdre Jorson, and I am the founder and lead designer over here at Eastborough Designs. We are a boutique interior design firm where we assist homeowners and developers and contractors get through the interior design process and ready for construction. Everything from creating the as-built drawing, so your home as we see it now, all the way through to the concept design, electrical layouts, drawings that are permit ready, and the construction package that would go along with the permit set. So everything from material selections for a new homeowner to a full renovation, full custom build. So we take care of everything from A to Z, giving clients, homeowners, confidence moving right into construction. Thank you very much. Deirdre Jorson from Eastborough Designs.
Deirdre, thank you so much. And Tony, over to you, sir.
Yay. Thank you very much, Bernie. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. A couple of weeks ago, I did a talk on our aura. This is the field around our body. And our aura is so important because our bodies are simply an extension of that field. It doesn't work the other way around. The aura is in other words, if you have a healthy aura, a healthy field, your immune system is so much stronger. Sometimes you'll hear of people that can walk through a hospital ward and there's sickness everywhere and they're fine. And other people can just be outside looking at the hospital and get sick. And there's because of that, because there's various things in our aura. I did a talk and it's on the YouTube channel that we have for Higher Self. I posted the link. And this is so important, is to be able to have a good, strong field in because everything in our body is reflected on that. So there's many ways to strengthen the aura, and I talk about that in that hour presentation. So I hope you can pick that up and make yourself stronger just in that field. Tony Jennis from Hire Yourself, where we're here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. And my name is Bernie Fransgroth, Creative Insight Consultants. We do connections between businesses, and we also do a couple podcasts. Knack for Business, and it's about people's journey in that particular space. And it covers everything from the journey to the golden nuggets. We're going to probably have to get Eric back on there to talk about, hey, what to do with that surplus property and what's going to happen to me next and how I'm going to get pinged to change my tires, Sam. And what else to tell you about? Also involved the Property Wizard. That's a commercial real estate podcast where I'm a co-host, and it's about getting investments in that space. So probably should have Eric also circle back with Fred and talk about tax, how to manage that tax liability, not avoidance, but how to manage the tax liability. One last element is AI. So if you've had AI recently, you're looking to use AI, keep in mind before you buy an AI package off the shelf, look at what you have. Canva's increased what they do. Microsoft Office does a whole bunch of things now that you don't have to go outside and shop around. You just got to look a little deeper in your resources. That's kind of a current tip that I've uncovered over the last little while. Now, with all that said, our presenter is Guy. Guy, over to you, sir.
I'm presenting today. Oh,
yes, sir.
Yep,
okay.
Yep,
No problem.
45 minutes.
Okay, so the last time I was presenting, I talked about contractor scams. And today, I want to kind of touch on that a little bit more, only because it's such an area that needs awareness, because every day that goes by, there's so many scams going out there, and people getting calls, about any people wanting money. You get emails from people from like England and all that saying that, you're going to inherit all their money and everything. You get all these weird scams and from CRA, but you don't see a whole lot of it door to door much. However, the contractor scams are a lot of it are door to door. They will come to your door. They'll target areas that have a large, community base, big homes, nice cars. They're stating that they've got, 6 projects in their area that they're working on. And the thing is they haven't even stepped a foot in their house. They basically come around and they target the innocent elderly people that basically don't know any better. And unfortunately, there's no, there's like a demographic that these guys are targeting. The younger people do a lot of the research, and that's great. But the older generation don't really do that. They have this trust factor. It's getting to the point where they're asking people to get like reverse mortgages to pay for the work. There's this wish list everybody wants to have, this new kitchen, new bathroom, new, just for some change, but they can't afford it. And then they get all these ideas from the contractors. And what happens is that they go for these, I know somebody that can help you with your to get a reverse mortgage, and they're associated with that, and they get money from that. However, it's the work still doesn't get done, and everybody loses money on this. Something that everybody really needs to be aware of. Your gut instinct is the most important thing you can really count on. When it comes to a contractor, if they don't have any kind of proof, most homeowners won't have any issues of maybe even going to see the place or taking some photographs and of an area and sharing a phone number to speak to you if they're proud of the work, right? I mean, if anybody around here is proud of something that somebody's done in their home, Would anybody say no to showing it off, right? Chances are, right, it won't be an issue. It's a really the economy is going for a really big turn here, and money is at the utmost value because people don't have it, right? They don't have enough. Things are going up, interest rates are going up, houses aren't selling right now because of the market. People are washing their dollars, right? But yet they still want to have that renovation done in their home. Has anybody heard of this? I'm going to post this website here on the chat here. TS Lawyers. .ca. It's basically a guide to Ontario contractor fraud. There's an actual website out there that actually informs people of what's going on. It's massive. It's growing exponentially every year. Who do you trust? Who do you know? How do you know when they're going to go and that nothing's going to be stolen? It's one of those factors where at one point one day, Bob and Jim from down the road can fix your house. And you can leave the door unlocked and they can come in anytime they want. Now you got to have cameras in your house. You have to have video surveillance everywhere so that you can be protected. Because you don't know, you can't trust anybody out there that you think that it's chances are if it's their speech and is too good to be true, then it is. Right? They promise everything under the sun. They promise massive discounts just to get the work. The cost of work today for contractors is huge. I mean, you're going to have it. Yeah, I'll do this for 20-30% off just so that I can get the work done because I'm in the area. Who's going to do that and make money in the business? Everybody needs to make money in their company. I get it. People want to help out and, help out the economy and give a good price. But there's this factor of, what is a good deal, right? I mean, how much are you willing to lose to pay less? It's crazy. And let's face it, like today's jobs for even just a simple basement reno, it's changed over the past 5 years. It's not the same. So people are going in thinking, okay, well, listen, I'm going to go in here, get you a good deal. I'll start, tomorrow. I've got a crew ready to take care of what I need 60% down. They're not going to come back. They're not coming back. I've heard a story there last week where they have had a kitchen renovation, and they went in, older couple. They basically went in and they said, listen, you know what? I've got this for you. No problem. We can have all these cupboards built within 2 weeks. We'll have everything out of here within a few days. You'll have a brand new kitchen in 4 weeks. No problem. But in order for us to get this done faster, we have connections, but we need 75% of your money to pay for all the work, the cabinetry, so that we can really get things started. They went in, they took the cabinets out, they never came back. And they have 75% of the cash. And that's happened a lot. It's more often than people think. So the industry is massive. Everybody comes around. There's renovations is huge. Construction is big. People aren't moving anymore because they want to fix their house. No problem. That's great. The thing is the due diligence of everybody out there. The internet is huge. It's plastered. People know. People see. They can see what's happening out there. They have there's police reports there every spring. Spring is massive for this kind of these scams because everybody's fresh out of winter. You know, they're hibernated. They want to change. They want everything to look good for the summertime parties and all this stuff. Let's get things going. So people are out there, you know, scoping the streets. Somehow or another, they go on Facebook and they see people's posts. I want to renovate this. I want to renovate that. They know the areas. They have people working full time on this stuff to scam people and get money out of them. It's scary out there, and renovations are great. I don't want to kind of just put a downer on the renos and the contractors out there. There's a lot of good companies out there, but within those guys, they kind of swindle in and they make an appearance, you know, you might have some good contracts, but all of a sudden you're going to get that bad deal where you know, it's just gonna it's gonna scar you. You know, has anybody experienced any kind of form of scam of some sort that may have come through? Either a neighbor that they've heard, a neighborhood that you heard that might have been touched by some of these guys. Has anybody heard of that going on in your neighborhood? Deidre, yeah.
Yeah, not to that large degree. The ones I'm normally hearing about is the ones the water heaters. Who want to come in, check your water heater, check your furnace, and give you a quote on, oh, we can change your furnace. You know, we could change your water heater. You know, some smaller stuff. Get about 20% down and not do the work. You know,
Yeah.
not change anything. You know.
So what happens is this: those guys that are checking your water heater, they also have in their back pocket, they're a contractor. They walked in your house. They see what's happening. Oh, you got an outdated kitchen. You've got a basement that's not finished. You've got this and that. No problem. 3 weeks later, you might get a phone call, or you might get a visit or a knock at the door or a flyer at the door. Oh, look at this, you know, massive bathroom renovation sale. Let's redo your bathroom for $5,000. We have access to liquidation products. Whatever the case is, it looks attractive. No problem. We weren't thinking about doing it. Hey, $5,000, let's do it. No problem. This is where they get you, because they actually have access somehow. And Facebook is massive because people post their lives on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And you can just do a search about people that you don't even have friends on, and you know about their lives, right? Facebook is great for the communication. I'm not putting it down. All I'm saying is that Facebook is a source of information for a lot of scammers out there. It's kind of scary. You know, on the upside, you know, it's good to be informed and to know. You know, it's almost like buying a car. Right? Did you go to that guy? You don't go to this other guy. Insurance people calling you all the time. Yeah, I want to sell you insurance. Okay, but you got to know what you're doing, who you're actually dealing with, because you're spending a lot of money long term. Mortgage reverse scams for mortgages. That's you know, they target you. You know, let's get to the cash. Let's do it now. Well, there's a lot of consequences to that. There's a lot of things that. You know, again, if it's too good to be true, chances are it is. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? Forget
that and the price of construction has gone up over the last 5 years.
A lot. Yeah. And the thing is that people are working with that because they use it as leverage, right? You know, to redo a kitchen, you know, $60,000-$70,000 or whatever the case is, depending what you're putting into it. Someone's going to come in, I'll do it for, like, say 15, 20, you know. Sounds attractive to most people. Yeah, great. You know, why would I spend 30, 40, 60 when I can get it for 10? It's that it's the education, and people are unaware of this. You know, I mean, things have gone up. You know, a lot of people are in, like, you know, early 2000 mode, where it's like it doesn't cost that much for renos anymore and stuff. Even though, you know, it's still it's actually out there. You know, and there's also the flip side. You can pay way too much and get gouged. You got to come watch the spectrum. You got to do your research. But they play on people's weaknesses, and right now it's money. It's people don't have the money to spend, so they say, well, how about we pay less? How about you make it in 2 or 3 installments on the project, but the first installment is going to be 60 grand, 80 grand as an example, and the job is let's say 100 grand. Well, you're going to lose that money, chances are, because they shouldn't be asking for that kind of money. They're going to walk away. They're going to walk away, right? Because they know, because they can't do the job. They got to have the experience enough to do the job, but they have experience in taking your money, and they won't be able to fulfill that. So they just leave, and you can't find these guys. Like they're non-traceable, right? All of a sudden you're going to do research on this guy that, who is this guy? He doesn't show up. He doesn't exist. Yeah. People spend all kinds of time and money and or time and invested in scamming people. You think if they were to spend that much time in doing good in the world, man, it'd be a great place, Yeah.
Tanya, your hands up.
I just wanted to know, Guy, a lot of this kind of business I thought was done through checking references and, knowing other previous clients. Can I talk to them, kind of thing? And from the sounds of, I just like to know, does the sector that you're talking about have that kind of business model?
So references, yeah, I mean, references are great. You've also got to watch the references, right? Who are they referencing? Is it Uncle Bob and Jim that they did, and they're saying, yeah, great job. So it's almost, you got to go even deeper into that reference and see what they actually did and find out where they are. Because anybody can put down a name on something and say, okay, I've done this, right? So they know that, okay, if I give some references, everything will be cleared, and we're going to get the job on this. It's not always the case. So when you check a reference, you really got, instead of saying, okay, Joe and Joe, did they do work for it? Yeah, everything's good. They were on time, on budget. Yeah, thank you very much. And that's basically the extent of the conversation, right? Because a lot of people are kind of sometimes afraid of bad news. They hear this good news, this great price, and they say, man, I hope this is not a scam. This is awesome, right? But they don't want to hear that other person say, no, don't go with these guys, because they want the deal. So they'll ask the minimum amount of questions. Were they there? Yeah. Were they on time? Did they pay? Did they do the job? Yeah, done. Thank you very much. And that's it. Well, what did they do? Were they, what kind of material did they use? How did they respect your house? Can I come and see the place? I know that's intrusive, but pictures are one thing, but where did they come from? Like some house in California? Who knows, right? I mean, you need to actually see the proof of this, of what they've done. Maybe if there's a picture of you and the contractor, cheers at the end. Okay, yeah, we did this work. He was there with you. Okay, great. Something that gives you a bit more foundation, right? So a lot of people will have a reference, and they will have that model. Yes, you got to really dig into it some more, right? It's not just okay, it's a 15-20 minute, half an hour check on these guys and go. It's actually going to be days and weeks of checking and planning and verifying, just to make sure, right? That, and sometimes it's faster. Yeah, okay, the guy was down the road, and and he did the work. Those are great people. It's fantastic. It's those guys where you can't really find a whole lot of information on. You got to watch. Yeah.
One thing that I want to add to that, if I may, Guy, is something that I've noticed, doing what I do is that all clients or homeowners, they all have their own standard and version of what is a good job. And so that's where it can get really tricky when you are looking for referrals on a contractor, because what could be you know, a really good job for one client would be absolutely appalling for another. And so you really have to, and that's, I think what Guy is saying is that you can't just take someone's like quick word for it. You know, if you can go and see a finished renovation, a finished product, you know, where you can see like the fit and finishing and the quality of the work, that will speak volumes, because a bad job when it's executed is more than just a contractor having a bad day. Right? It can be a series of events, or it could be, you know, that the entire job just goes sideways. And so that's not something that can really be translated sometimes verbally, and you do need to see. So yes, it can be intrusive, you know, to request to, you know, to go and see, you know, another homeowner's renovation or the job that was done to really get a good feel for what was done. But, I mean, the worst that someone can say is no. But if you can ask the question, then you're that much further ahead of actually getting the information to make sure that that contractor, you know, is going to perform to the standards that you're looking for, not necessarily somebody else's standards. So that's something that I've come up against for another client recently, where they did not go with my my contractor who actually referred me, and it's a nightmare scenario. I could never ever refer this contractor to somebody. And so, and they said for the money that they saved going with the contractor, it's actually going to cost them more to get all of this fixed, and not just cost in terms of dollars, but also time. Which, you know, you can't really put a dollar value on. So, you know, that due diligence that you're talking about, it's not a half-hour phone call. It does take sometimes weeks to kind of go through the process. But you really need to use your eyes where you possibly can. So speaking from this side of it, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. And it's even more like, if you can do that even further, you will be better off for it when it actually comes to your renovation.
Yeah, because that 1 or 2 weeks or 3 or whatever the case is, even more, will save you time, money, and aggravation down the road. I mean,
absolutely.
A bad renovation can severely devalue your home.
Exactly. Well, and that's kind of the case here, unfortunately. You know, one thing that I've kind of always known, but really it was much more profound in the last couple of weeks, is yes, you know, $10,000 more, for example, for one contractor, also may mean, you know, $50,000 worth of savings. So if there's, say, for example, if there's one contractor was $50,000, the other was $60,000, you didn't necessarily just save $50,000 or $100,000, excuse me, $10,000 between the two of them. What you're actually saving is the 50. And you have to look at it that way, because otherwise that could be money so poorly spent. And if you're in it, you know, sometimes going with somebody who is more expensive, because there is that craftsmanship and that value and that expertise and experience in the proper trades. I will emphasize proper trades, like in terms of getting the specialized people in, it makes a huge difference, because a renovation can devalue your home if you're not careful. You know,
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. So we have to start moving along. We're kind of going past our allotted time. It is a really, you know what, Deirdre, very valid point. No, Deirdre, don't apologize. I'm sitting there going, do I raise a flag or not? No, this is really salient stuff. Couple of things. Have a band with Deirdre and Guy. Actually, you know, Deirdre, I believe Matt's presenting next week. Maybe you should do a follow-up and, you know, continue on this process of, you know, doing the redesign and how you find, because those are really golden. That is golden information to share. So don't apologize. We only have a limited time, and I apologize, but we have to roll forward. And wow, those are really insightful pieces of information. And Guy, thank you so much. So, as I just posted in the chat, if you have any of these clients or any of these companies, because we have clients for them, home and auto alarm or security providers, travel agent, appraiser, event planner, life insurance, especially for the Monday group, a landscaper, gardener, house cleaner, gift basket company, a photographer, legal, from the legal side, both family and business law, sign and swag and promotions, that element, women's clothing or apparel, men's clothing too, plumber and mobile hairdresser. Have them all reach out to Penny Lee all at the same time. No, if you have a business that's coming along, have them reach out to Penny Lee. You know, just someone saying, listen, I want to get more out there and more connections. And much to Guy's point, when he's talking about like, who is this guy, who is this gal that wants to do the work in our place? Part of that's why you come into the Phoenix group, because you end up knowing, we know that Guy's here, we know that Deirdre's here. So that is the important piece, that you develop that connection, right? It's almost a vetting cycle. And the other thing is, and I think Tony's already kind of posted it before, we're also on YouTube. So that is the link to the YouTube channel. I'm going to swing over and go into share mode and what is going on in the calendar. And as you should be seeing something right now, well, we're past Monday. Nothing happened on Tuesday. East End groups today, moving to Hill with Penny Lee. Penny Lee's busy again later in the day, evening. South End group meets tomorrow, same time, same channel. Penny Lee is there again at 10 to 11. Carl Richards has his podcast Jumpstart to work at. Tune in with Tony on Friday. And this coming weekend, we have a weekly online with Jacqueline, yoga. And Jacqueline, we'll let you do your intro in a few minutes. And we got Penny Lee doing something with a local mini retreat from 11 to 3. All the details are in the chat. And what's going on next week? Well, we have Dave's Monday. So if you get hold of Dave this week, he set up what they call a BAM, a business activity meeting, and he give you a bit of slice of heaven, and you have a good lunch with Dave. What else is on the go? Moving to Heel again. Penny just getting everybody to move around on Tuesday next week. Mix and mingle. Engel and Volka's Somerset, 6:30 to 8:30 Tuesday evening. That is the Mix and Mingle for Phoenix. And Graduate Thrivers is also next week on Tuesday evening, 7 to 9. And if I kind of skip down the week here, we also have the HeartLink network that's happening on Saturday on the 28th, and that is through Susan Ebbs. Quick stop of that sharing and moving us along. And I'm going to start off with Jacqueline. Do your intro and tell us what's been happening in your week.
Well, I was busy taking a long, deep breath as I met with a client. We went for a walk because, interesting, Guy, her home or her rental in Cornwall, she had some work done. She thought she had work done and she didn't have work done. And so now she's trying to find the contractor. Interesting you were talking about that. That was my walk with my client who wanted to refinance. When you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, even with your rental and repair, you want to contact your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Eric, over to you, sir.
I am working on Tony's year-end. I'm working on Tanya's year-end. I'm taking an in-depth tax course. This is the current Tax Act of Canada. This was the Tax Act of Canada when my grandfather was a young kid. So, do you want to know what's injustice and you want to know what's not right in society? Here it is. Other than that, I am doing well.
Eric, thank you. Deirdre, over to you, ma'am.
My goodness. I don't even know where to start. Having a short week last week. I think a lot of us can relate that while a long weekend is lovely, you still need to cram 4 days of work in 5 days of work in 4. See, like I'm still messed up from last week. So it's
4 to 5 actually.
Well, so it's very busy over here. I'm trying to get a lot of permits and projects wrapped up before the holidays. And I know it's kind of crazy to think holidays now, but now is the time that I do need to think about, closing out projects so that clients are best prepared for the renovations for the springtime. So that's what's happening with me this week. And I'm looking to connect with Guy and his management team as well. So hopefully we can join forces and do some good in the construction world. That's it for me. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, Deirdre. Mike, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Guy. First of all, great presentation. That was quite the topic. I mean, it's emotional enough already when you're dealing with your own monies and investing in something that you love, like your home, your sanctuary, your nest. And even though renovation can sound exciting, there's always the anxiety that goes along it. Even if a renovation goes well, for a lot of people, it can still be very, very stressful moment. Let alone, I can imagine when somebody gets left behind because of a scam of some sort or what have you, how that just affects their whole sanctuary, their whole homestead, everything, like that. So great information. I know in the future that if I hear somebody going, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this renovation or what have you like that, the very first question I'm going to ask is why that renovator, and then I'll be able to go into, did you do your due diligence, what have you? And if you want any type of information about due diligence, point the way to Guy, because you'll be able to explain it to them and maybe capture a referral that way. Had a great BAM, way overdue BAM with Terry Black from Rivera. And she and I are looking to create a distracted driving for seniors, so that they don't lose their independence because of some simple mistakes. So that was really great. And yeah, that's it for me this week. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Q, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, Guy, for very insightful information. And at one point or another, as a homeowner, we all have to think about those kind of things. And I had a session with Tony yesterday, and thank you, Tony, for all the insight. Start working on it. And that's about for me for the week. Thank you.
Thank you. Penny, did we already cover you? Go for it, Penny Lee.
All right. So thank you so much, Guy. I personally have not experienced anything like that, but I know on the Facebook Limoges community, they were talking about a couple of guys walking around door to door. So it didn't surprise me when you mentioned that. And, it's unfortunate that today we can't trust people like we used to. So thank you for reminding us. I have a very big trust factor when it comes to meeting new people. So my husband always has to remind me to put my little, shield up to make sure I'm cautious. Anyways, last week I had the opportunity to have an in-person BAM with Carl, which was awesome. And he gave me a little bit of insight on how to move forward with my podcast, a little bit of motivation because it's been on hold for a little while. And I also had an opportunity to connect again with Tanya. Tanya lives in Kempville, and it just blows my mind that she loves my fitness practice, the Classic Nia, so much that she comes every week to the Dome in Embrun to take my class, which is not uncommon because Nia is not offered just anywhere. There are very few instructors. And so when you resonate with something, it's not surprising that people are traveling a distance to make that happen. So we are doing a retreat this Sunday. If anybody's interested, it's $120 for the day, 11 to 3. Would love to have you come out and take some time out just to do some reflection before you wrap up the year. And what else did I do? I also connected with Natalie Creamer, and we are looking at doing something together as well. She's also taking my class, so referrals from there. And I have my sign up. Yay! So Ema finished framing my sign. My new sign is now on my front lawn. I'm going to post a picture of that today. And yeah, have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much. And over to Matthew.
Hey, everybody. So just keeping busy here, getting into the heating season, and things are always busy with us. But last week I had a chance to meet up with Guy at one of his sites in Bourget and had a look at, you know, what type of work he's doing and see if we're a good fit, and had a good little meeting there. And I'm looking forward to working with him. I think, you know, we're kind of on the same page here, and we'd be a good fit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Next week I am presenting here, so I'll have a little something ready for you guys. Look forward to next week. Have a good week.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Tanya, over to you.
So thanks a lot, Guy, for making sure that we're aware of how, you know, the Wild West out there when it comes to renovators. I guess I was very lucky when we got our house renovated, because he, our renovator, who has since retired, he was very insistent. You know, there are a lot of bad guys out there, and you know, you got to be really careful. And he walked us through, okay, so this is how I work, and if you don't want to go with my preferred guy, go ahead, do what you want, but you know, you take the consequences of it, because I know this electrician, I know this plumber, I know, you know, I know this cabinet maker, I know. And I said, you know, we should probably, because it was a neighbor who had used him, and I went into their house and saw his work and all this kind of thing. So, but he was constantly telling us how dangerous it is out there in the renovation world. So I've heard this message a lot. So thank you for reminding us. My big thing is that we have heat. When I had told my husband that there's a guy in my network who does heat pumps, my husband's an HVAC guy, and he says, oh, come on. So he went out and bought a heat pump, and it's sat in our garage for a while. And it was starting to get cold. And I said, we're not turning the natural gas furnace on until we have a heat pump. Why would we turn the natural gas furnace on? So that got him motivated. And this morning we have heat. So I'm all excited. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Tanya. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. First of all, Guy, thanks for doing your presentation today. Very insightful information. In fact, I had a contractor come to the door last week, insulation-wise, and he told me that it needed 20 inches of insulation in my attic now, and I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but that's a heck of a lot of insulation. Anyway, I don't know if you could answer whether that's adequate or that's over the top or not. Anyway, I wrote down the TS lawyers. I'm going to check that out. So thank you very much, because we are planning a major renovation to our cottage down in Port Stanley. So I'm going to learn from you as best I can on how to avoid a bad contractor. So thanks very much. Things going on. Well, while I was at the cottage last week, Dave contacted me, our own Dave Belleville. He had bought himself a new Tesla Y, replacing his Model 3. And he needed help putting on his seat cover. So I helped him do that. And then I bought a box of steaks from him. So it was a win-win for Dave last week. And then, well, I shouldn't say that, because it was a win on Saturday, because we had our whole family here and enjoyed his steaks on the barbecue. So besides that, I continue to advertise for our friend Alex Volta. I have pamphlets from him that I give to each of my clients when I give them a receipt, in case they're interested in an electric vehicle supply. That's it.
Thank you so much. Tony, over to you.
Oh, thank you very much there, Bernie. Yeah, great presentation, Guy. You said one phrase which really hit home was a bad reno also is expensive. And I'm looking at houses now, because we're looking to get our mom into a house, and so all the families together. And one of the advertisements was the finished basement, but the basement was so bad, the walls were crooked, and my eyes aren't that good, but I noticed it, and it was so poorly done. The floors were sanded with a hand sander, because you could see the circles. And I'm thinking, okay, Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking to myself, what will it take to demolish this basement and start over? And so I had to put that in the offer. So it was like 50,000 less because I'm thinking of the worst scenario. What's behind the walls? So yeah, you're right. A bad and a buyer will notice these things because they're looking for details. They're not looking for walls up. They're looking for make sure everything's square and all that. So yeah, that really hit home to me. So thanks a lot for that. The had some did some business with Alex and sent him some work. And yes, Q connected yesterday. Thank you, Q, for that. Thank you for your trust there. And I had a BAM with Susan Ebbs. And let's see, Josh, ongoing business. He's doing some computer work for us there. And Eric Senego, ongoing business there. Thank you, Eric, for taking care of our numbers. And Dwight, we're going to be getting him to do the mix and mingle on the 24th. And just before I leave, I need Guy, since he's the presenter, to give me a number from 1 to 11. I'm giving out another gift certificate for a free tuning or a reading session. So between 1 and 11.
9.
9, that would be Mike. Mike, you got a free tuning. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good week.
Cool. Gee, how was your week?
Week is great. Things are very busy. I got 2 homes that I'm reconstructing. I've got one that we're redoing on the inside completely. Garage is being built. Quebec side. It's very busy. The work is out there. One last piece of advice for everybody: watch for cover-ups. People will go in your house, see stuff, put the wall back up, and you still got problems. You need somebody that's honest and they're gonna fix whatever, because once the walls open up, it's their responsibility. They gotta fix it. And I've heard too many stories about people not fixing these things. They see some pipes that are leaking. Oh, they don't want to deal with it. They close it up. They see mold, they close it up. So be very careful. I had a great band with Matt as well, because I brought him out to one of my job sites in Belgette. He's got a great extensive service that he offers, and yeah, definitely we'll be able to use him on our jobs as well. Deidre, looking at Forte connecting finally, hopefully soon, so that we can get your services involved with us as well. So, but I want to get some more BAMs going as well. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you so much. Excellent presentation. Words of wisdom in there. I'm going to end us off with a quote for the day because it's 9:02. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And that's from Fabian Fredrickson.